stereo. Good evening.
Well, regular evening to you all. Welcome to the Late Show with me, David Lake. Sitting in for Beswick again. I'll be with you till 2 o'clock. Cool and Gang. And straight ahead, 9 minutes after 10 o'clock, Red Rose Radio. As I said before, Beswick, he's on his holes yet again. He's only doing a 3-day week at the moment. It can't be bad. What a job. Anyway, I think he's back on Sunday. So it's me through until 2 o'clock in the morning. Some great music for you. During this hour, in fact between now and 11 o'clock, we've got Shakin' Stevens, George Benson, Tina Turner, and all sorts. So plenty to look forward to.
Red Rose Radio.
11:05. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, welcome for the first time. You've got to stay with us till 2. Then you must be thick. Preston 561,000 if you wish to join us.
24 hours a day. Red Rose Radio.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, Alan. I'd like to talk about these cat collars. I think they should stick a computer down the cat. Then when it walks through the door, if it's not the right cat, the alarm will go off.
How very droll.
Or if you can tie the collar up round its feet, then it won't be able to move, so it won't have to come through the door, will it?
No, but it'll crap on your rug, you fool. What an idiot. How do, Paul?
Hello, Alan. I was buying a carpet for my bedroom, and the measurements was 15 foot 3 by 12 foot, so I ordered a carpet for 16 foot by 12. And when I got it, I thought I'd cut 6 inches off before enrolling it, so I wouldn't have to cut as much off when I was laying it. And they did give me a carpet 15 foot by 12, so the carpet was only for 13 foot 12, you know, when I cut 13 foot 6, when I cut the 6 inches off, and I went back and told them. And they had a receipt for the carpet, you know, measurements what I wanted. And they said they won't give me money back because I must have cut 18 inches off. But I still got the strip of 6 inches what I cut off.
But of course, you could have cut 18 inches off and then, having realised your error, cut a foot off and chuck it away. Thus, well, that is what you say.
No, I cut 6 inches off.
That is what you say. The dispute isn't what is factual. The dispute is what the shop believes. The shop believes that you made a pig's ear of it. You believe that they did. I suggest you take them to court and have the judge decide who made the error. Good day. I'll do Grant. Wonder if it was an education grant. If it was, it would have been interesting, but it wasn't, because it has gone. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, I'd like to talk about my dog.
I don't wish to know anything about your dog.
Well, it keeps on going next door, you see.
Then tell it not to.
No, and it does its business and that.
Ooh, I don't wish to know that. I'll do Carl.
Hey, Alan.
Yes, not that it's any of you.
Dinner.
What do you mean, what am I having for my Christmas dinner?
All you stuff in your face with Mars bars.
And I no doubt will be having some Mars bars also, yes.
Yeah. You're going to get fat again, as you always will.
Am I going to get fat again, as I am as well?
Are you losing weight?
Which question would you like answered?
The second one.
As I am as well?
No. Are you losing any weight?
No, is the answer to that.
Right, see ya.
Goodbye. The small things that people carry round between their ears oft sever and rot away through lack of use. Hello, Alan.
Hello, I'd like to talk about television and the effects, well, not the effects.
Well, would you like to make your mind up what you would like to talk about, and when you've decided, ring me?
It's about licensing.
Oh, it's about licensing. First of all, it's about television, then it's not about television, then it's about, like, it's Decker's Pig Milk. Get off! Hello, John.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, you're too young. Go away. Hello to somebody else. Warren.
I got a good diet for you for Christmas.
I don't want a diet. I want to have conversations with adults. Hello, David.
Alright, Alan. I'd just like to talk about hockey. I think it's disgusting that football should, so much money should be spent on
Excuse
football.
me, David, what you said was, I would like to talk about hockey.
Yeah, well, I'm just comparing the two, aren't
You've not compared anything at the moment. All you've
Well,
said
I'm
is
just
all you
about
have
to, Alan.
all you have done so far is express two things: one, a desire to speak about hockey, and two, your belief and your disgust, in fact, at the amount of money spent on football.
Yeah, the fact that they don't spend anything on hockey. I mean, just...
Who doesn't spend anything on hockey?
Well, advertisers and...
I see. You would like advertisers to throw their money down the proverbial drain, would you?
Listen, Alan, we
I
won.
tried listening, and
We
you
won
hadn't the
a bronze
ability...
medal in the Olympics.
I don't give a stuff what we won in the
Yes,
Olympics.
but we don't win anything in football, do we?
It really doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It matters to you, yes, but the opinions of a cretin rarely have any sway.
I'm not a cretin, Alan.
All the evidence I have is that you are. If you would like to add to the evidence...
You are a cretin.
Indeed I am. But, David, I get paid for being a cretin. I'm sure you have a good excuse too. Would you like to tell us what it is? You obviously don't have a good excuse.
Yes, of course I do.
Now then, David, what you would like, I presume, is for advertising companies, agencies and base companies to give money to the hockey sport.
Yes, to promote.
Now, what are they going to get in return, these companies?
Well, by the hockey clubs advertising their product.
And how many people attend a hockey match on a
That's the whole
Saturday?
point, you see, if we...
It is the whole point. Advertising companies don't give money to sport because they think it's a rather nice thing to do. They do it because a lot of people see their product or evidence of their product when they go to these matches, or these matches are shown on television. Now, can you tell me how many people go and therefore would see the product of an advertising company at a hockey match?
If an advertising company...
How many people go? Will you just answer the question, you
Not
dimwit?
very many
Not
at the moment.
very many.
But
That
there
is
would
why
be
they don't
people
put...
advertising.
Oh, don't talk stupid. People don't go to football to look at the bloody cigarette adverts. Go away, you imbecile. Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Mr. Beswick. I'd like to talk about the right of a human being to have sex before 25.
Would you like to tell us about this right?
Well, I think every human has this right because they know their own minds and they're able to, do it. I think once you're over 16, you should be able to have it.
Matthew, you can.
Yeah, I know, but you say all the time that you're not allowed to have sex. Well, you think that we shouldn't have sex until we're 25.
I think the age of majority and all other ages of attainment, as it were, should be 25
Why?
for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
One, consolidation. I would like them all consolidated to one age, first of all. I think that is a sensible policy.
Why is that?
Because it is very confusing and, in fact, ludicrous at the moment when a person can marry, have children, and yet not frequent licensed premises and purchase alcohol for their own consumption thereon. Now, that is ludicrous. We need a consolidation.
No, I don't think so.
Matthew, would you like to defend that particular piece of legislation? And I realise that wasn't the initial motivation for your conversation. I have made a statement that the two different ages are ludicrous. Would you like to tell me why you think they're sensible?
Yeah, I think people can get really influenced by drink before 18.
And they can't get influenced by a marriage?
Yeah.
They can, but the influence of a marriage is less than that of drink.
No, it's totally different.
It is totally different. Might I suggest to you, Matthew, that the two are totally different? The chances are that if you drink, it will not affect your life in a major way, unless you're very unlucky, very unfortunate, or very stupid. However, if you get married, that will affect your life in a major way. Full stop. Whether that marriage is successful or unsuccessful, it will affect your life. Full stop. So there is an element of risk of destroying your life with alcohol and affecting your life totally from that moment onwards. But there is no risk involved in marriage because there is no chance of it not affecting your life. Therefore, I suggest to you that at best those age barriers are the wrong way around.
Yeah. Well,
so would you like to agree with me that that particular piece of disjointed legislation is ludicrous?
Well, no, what you
Well, would you or wouldn't you?
I would, yeah.
Right. So, Matthew, I said to you that I would like a consolidated age. Now, do you agree that we ought to have a consolidated age?
Yeah,
You do. So you think we should have a consolidated age. Thank you. I'm prepared to accept that.
Right, get back up to an
Now,
argument.
would you like to tell me what age you would like this consolidated age to be?
I think at 17.
17.
Good age,
Now,
yeah.
you're the person that a few seconds ago, and I mean seconds, was actually attempting to defend 18 for alcohol. Are you now saying you were wrong then, and you would like it to be 17?
Yes, I'm saying that I was wrong.
You were wrong a few seconds ago, you're saying that.
Yeah, I was wrong.
You would like it to be
You can't
17. Matthew, can I ask you a question?
I've admitted
Can I
I'm
ask you a
wrong.
question,
I've
Matthew?
admitted that I'm
Yes,
wrong.
fine.
You can't
Matthew,
discredit me for that.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
How old are you?
16.
I think I have just proved the point that at 16 you are not sure of your own mind. Goodbye.
Oh.
How do Alan?
My voice is broke, so I can't sing anymore.
Not only broke, but destroyed.
Fancy a drink?
Oh, just a small one. This is Jeff. He's a sales rep, and he's just called in on one of his customers. And as it's Christmas, they want him to have a drink. Jeff's only going to have a few.
No, I've got to go. See you in the new year.
Bye, Jeff.
That was his last call of the year. But Jeff's evening has only just begun. Because he didn't count on the measures you get when you call in on someone for a quick drink, being more than you ever get in a pub. He should have left his car and got a bus or a cab. He's over the limit, and he's just seen that blue light in his mirror. What do they want? And he's going to lose his license, his car, and so his job. Think you can drink and drive? Think again.
Centro. For hi-fi, TV, video and computers, people choose Centro. Even Merry Christmas. It's going to be a super special Christmas at Centro. Thanks to their interest-free credit. Yes, ask for details of Centro's incredible interest-free credit and choose from the best in sound and vision and computers from leading manufacturers with up to 10 months to pay. Hey, make it a Centro Christmas.
Your money goes further at Central.
Move into the Centro age this Christmas at any branch of Centro.
Tommy Ball of Blackburn starts his greatest ever sale on Friday the 27th of December, with thousands of pairs of shoes on offer at bargain prices. Make it a great day out for all the family. At the same time, give your feet a New Year treat at the one and only Tommy Ball's Blackburn. We're open Monday to Thursday 10 till 5, Fridays 10 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 6, but we're closed New Year's Day. There's parking for hundreds of cars, and coaches are more than welcome. Come along to the one and only Tommy Ball's greatest ever shoe sale at Hart Street, Blackburn.
How do Melanie? Melanie. You.
What are you getting for Christmas, Alan?
I've no idea. I shall
I'll take
leave
you on
that
some
to
Mars bars
Santa.
if you want.
You may if you wish.
Do you like Mars bars?
Why are you bothering to send them to me, Melanie, if you're not yet aware of whether I like them or not?
Are you going to get drunk?
No,
Why not?
because I don't drink alcohol.
Why not? Do you not like it?
And that is the answer to the question.
Yeah. Claire Moffat and Melanie White.
How do Stephen?
Hello?
Hello?
Good evening. I'd like to talk to you on a serious matter. My sister, along with a couple of other girls, got interfered with by an elderly gentleman. Now, they give this statement what have you to the police, but they've not been charged. You know, the bloke hasn't been charged at all, and it's just having my mum mad because she knows that my sister in line and everything, and the girls aren't lying, but he's just not getting charged and everything, and it's just driving her mad. What do you suggest, Alan?
I suggest that she writes to the chief constable in your particular area and asks him why prosecutions were not brought. Alternatively, your parents... How old is your sister?
11.
Your parents could, if they so desire, bring a private prosecution, but it will cost them quite a lot of money, and one wonders whether 'tis worth it or not.
Well, you wonder because she's 11 and the other couple of girls are 11, and she's definitely been interfered with by this elderly gentleman.
We've already established the facts in your eyes, Stephen. There's no need repeating them unless you get some kind of warped kick out of it. All I can suggest is what I've just suggested. Now, if that isn't good enough for you, then tough. All right?
Yeah.
Goodbye. Hello, Nellie.
Hello, Alan.
Nellie?
Yeah?
You have a very deep voice for a woman, or else a girl's name. Either way, the conversation is over. Hello, Susie.
I'm Susie Clinton because I've never worn...
I can't even hear you properly. I can't hear you. Oh, I see. You're a tape recording. Never mind. How do Robert?
Alan. Listen, calm down. I know you've had a hard day.
I haven't had a hard day. I've had a marvellous day. Have you got anything you... Listen, I haven't all day to listen to your ridiculous crap. I see. How do Mike?
I'd like to talk about when you ring Red Rose Radio. Well, when Alice answers the phone, you have to wait a few minutes.
Yes,
so
you do.
Wouldn't it be a good idea if you answered the phone?
No.
Why not?
Because that would mean that people would go direct onto the radio, and they may well, A, have a wrong number, B, not be in any fit state to go on the radio. We very rarely say to somebody, I'm sorry you are not going on the programme, but we do reserve that right.
Oh, well, why did Irene go? Where's Irene now?
I don't think that's your business, is it?
Yeah?
Oh, I see. Then why don't you know?
What? Could you repeat that, please?
Oh, I see. That's what means. I've often wondered. I thought you must mean pardon. Is that what you mean?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Then say it.
Pardon?
I'm not telling you.
Why not?
How do Lee?
Hello? Alan?
Yes?
Well, an elephant's just come through my window, right?
Well, I suggest you call a glazier. I don't do window repairs.
And now the forecast from Aries Wine Stores. In 18 branches across the Fylde, a wide range of wine, spirits and beers are falling heavily in price. White and Mackay whiskey, $7.19 a bottle. Bailey's Irish Cream, $5.49. Beaupré Brandy, Aries price, $6.99. McEwen's Export, only 45 pence a can. It's just the weather for picking up a bargain at your local Aries Wine Store. Open till 10 every night.
Have you been into the old bridge on Lytham Road, Blackpool lately? If you have, you'll know it's been completely refurbished with a spectacular new lounge scene. If you haven't, then come along soon and enjoy the friendly atmosphere plus Matthew Brown beers. Private parties are also catered for, so book yours now at the Old Bridge, Lytham Road, Blackpool.
I'll do Warren.
Hi, Alan. My mum's in work tonight, so I'd just like to say hi to her.
Red Rose Radio.
Drop dead, Warren. How do Ian?
Hello? Alan?
Yes?
I'd like to know if I could take someone to court.
Of course you can. How do Peter? We don't allow blue jokes on this programme, Ian. How do Darren?
Hello, Alan? Alan? I'd like to talk about the army, if you don't mind. Alan?
We've established that you wish to talk about the army.
Yeah?
If I minded, you wouldn't be with us any longer. So would you like to get on?
My brother,
What's your brother got to do with it? If your brother is or isn't in the army, I suggest that he has the conversation, not you. I do not deal with third parties.
Oh.
Goodbye. How do David?
Good evening, Alan. I would just like to wish you and the staff at Red Rose.
Goodbye. How do Phil?
Hello, Al.
Hello.
On Saturday, the wife was coming home from Liverpool.
The wife? Is this a commodity you own?
No, sir. My wife, Shirley. Is
There,
that better?
thank you. My wife.
Right you
Far
are,
better
sir.
than the wife.
Right you are, sir. Was coming home from Liverpool and suffered a puncture about 5 o'clock. And some gutless so-and-so, under the guise of offering to help fix the puncture, stole my wife's handbag with all its contents. And all I want to do, it's a bit selfish, but I'd like to use the airwaves just to tell that guy that he...
Well, we don't use the airwaves for that purpose, for your revenge gratification.
No, it's not gratification. I'm just wanted to tell him that he will not in any way spoil our Christmas if he is listening.
I don't think that was intention. His
Well,
intention
whatever.
wasn't to spoil yours, it was to improve his.
Well...
and I hope he dies in the night of something really, really awful.
Well, I hope so as well, but...
Excellent. I'm very sorry about your wife's and indeed your family's demise, Phil.
That's all right, mate. It's all sorted out. As I say, whatever he's got hold of now is null and void, so best of luck to him. I
Well,
hope
you
he
shouldn't
gets
have told him. You should allow him to go to the bank and get him arrested and
Well,
hopefully gelded.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Cheers, Al.
Cheers. I'll do Matthew.
Hello, Mr. Beswick. I think that it was right for Mrs. Thatcher to invade the Falkland Islands.
Mrs. Thatcher didn't invade the Falkland Isles.
Forces to invade the Falkland Islands.
They didn't invade the Falkland
To
Isles.
retake the Falkland Islands.
Thank you.
And on both moral and on principle grounds.
Fine.
And what do you think about that?
I, first of all, believe that politicians that are prepared to send young men to war should be at the front, not the back, egging them on. And I think it is rank but typical cowardice of politicians everywhere to send young men to their deaths while sitting in the comfort of their own homes. I think it is both vile, disgusting, and cowardly.
But, Alan, what else could Mrs. Thatcher have done in that situation?
I'll tell you what she could have done. She could have done what she's damn well paid for, and that is foresee that political situation erupting into an armed conflict and deal with it prior to it resulting in an armed conflict. She could also have refused to sell armaments to basically a Nazi regime. But of course she wouldn't do that, because bullet sales are quite important to Britain, and unfortunately Mrs. Thatcher, the Prime Minister I prefer, because I don't think Kinnock or whoever else would have been in the chair would have done anything different, because I don't think many of them are worth much. But I think, had she refused various sales to the Argentinians, it may well never have happened. Had she attempted to deal with the Argentinian crises prior to it becoming bloodshed, it may well have been resolved. Had she have taken some of the opportunities offered to her during the early stages of that conflict for negotiation, a lot of English and Argentinian young men may well still be alive. Apart from that, I think her acts were perfect.
What were those opportunities?
Those opportunities were manifold.
Well, Sir Charles, I mean...
Such as going along to the United Nations and taking the time that it takes to negotiate via the United Nations. Because do remember that until the task force went down there, no British people had actually died.
No, but Alan, it was quite obvious that the Argentines weren't going to give the Allies...
Matthew, it may well have been, it may well be obvious to you via the resources, information resources that are available to you, and I include independent radio in that, which was totally edited, totally controlled, and obviously a pack of lies. Now, if you're going to base your arguments on what you read in The Sun, the Daily Mirror, then I'm sorry. If you would like just once in your life to laterally think, you will discover that Mrs. Thatcher has, on her hind legs in the House of Commons, on more than one occasion, contradicted herself and barefaced lied about the Falklands conflict. Now, why has she done that?
Yes, but Mrs...
I'll tell you why she's done that. Because she knows she was in the wrong. Would you now like to go away and entertain your friends in some other way, you
No, but
cretinous, imbecilic, immature fool? Hello, Tim.
Hello, Ian.
Ian isn't here. He works for Radio Lancashire. How do Anne-Marie?
Hello, can I ask you a question?
You can ask. I make no guarantee that I shall answer.
Have you got a show on Christmas Day?
Have I?
Yeah.
No.
No, only I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
I don't want to be wished a Merry Christmas, thank you very much. How do Carl?
Oh, Alan, I'd like to ask you why, when somebody comes on who makes a fool of himself, you raise your voice so loud that my radio rattles.
I have no idea. Perhaps you ought to buy a better radio instead of the obvious tin little box you've got. How do Leslie? Leslie appears not to have the gift of speech.
It's all happening at the Grand.
Ship ahoy, me hearties. I'm Norman Prince from the Horton Weavers, announcing Trafford and Parnell's all-laughter pantomime Robinson Crusoe at the Blackpool Grand Theatre, starting the 12th of December. Tony, David, Jeff and myself all star in this tune-filled, fun-packed pantomime, along with the ever-popular Tommy Trafford playing Dame Crusoe, and the lovely Linda Lee Lewis playing the traditional damsel in distress, Polly Perkins. So come on, mums and dads, tell the kids and sit thee down this Christmas in the Blackpool Grand Theatre and enjoy this season's all-laughter pantomime Robinson Crusoe. For full details and prices, either call in person or telephone the box office at the Blackpool Grand Theatre, telephone Blackpool 28372.
It's all happening at the Grand.
A hi-fi system will give many hours of pleasure, providing you select the right unit. Lynn Products, Mission, Cyrus, Monitor Audio and Rotel are some of the finest names in hi-fi to appoint Norman Audio as their sole dealer in Preston. You too can trust Norman Audio to offer you the very best value for money and after-sales service, whether you want a compact disc player, a complete system or a mere stylus. For free professional advice, contact Norman Audio on Preston 53057 or call at the new Fishergate Centre, 5 Butler Street, Preston.
I've been told I don't give out the telephone number frequently enough. I must admit that as far as I'm concerned, if you can't remember it for the hour, because I give it out at least once an hour, if you can't remember it for an hour, then you're too thick to have a conversation with me anyway. But to satisfy the powers that be, the telephone number of this programme is Preston 561000. Perhaps you ought to jot it down. There again, if you can't remember it for an hour, the chances are you can't write either. How do Ricky?
How do you do? I'd like to talk about the Westland issue that's going on at the present.
Yes, please do.
It sickens me to listen to Heseltine and Britain bickering on about who it should go to. Should it go to the European or the Americans and all the... Well, they should leave it to the, to the company itself to decide, because they're bickering like a couple of 2-year-olds.
Well, I've never heard 2-year-olds bicker, given that very few 2-year-olds have the benefit of language. However, the reason that those two buffoons are involved is because it's a very serious matter. For example, since their, quote, bickering, it has come to light that the American company, Sikorsky, has, or let us put it in a better way grammatically, General Gaddafi, or Colonel Gaddafi, or whatever title he gives to himself these days, it has recently been discovered, owns something like 7% of the shares of Sikorsky. Now, that information is unlikely to have come to public light, at least, had it not been for the bickering between those two eminent ministers. So perhaps it was a good idea that they should bicker, although I do appreciate that wasn't the point of their bickering.
That's very important, but why should Maggie come in on one side or the other? But, she seems to come
What do you think she should do? Make no decision at all?
No, I think she should just keep out of it herself, because...
But that company, that Westland Helicopter Company, is the only helicopter company in Britain, solely owned in Britain at the moment, that is able to satisfy the defence orders placed by Her Majesty's government. So surely the government has a massive interest in the ownership of that company.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that, Alan, but...
You are disputing
No, I'm
that.
not
Excuse me, Ricky, I hate to put your own words back to you. So recently have they come from your mouth, they're still warm. But what you said was that she has nothing to do with it. Now you're saying that she does. It seems you're a fool.
Alan!
Yes, madam. Drop dead, you cretin. How do Paul?
Hello, Alan. As you probably already know, not so long ago, Legionnaires bacteria was found in a catering college in Liverpool. Now, I find it an utter disgrace that such a problem can arise in such a place where hygiene is of utmost importance.
It's arisen in hospitals. I don't see why you should be so upset about it all.
But the point is, it's not necessary. It doesn't need...
Well, no one is suggesting it's necessary, otherwise everyone would have some.
Well, obviously, but the thing is, I remember watching the television and a spokesman for the health and safety at work said that it's probably present in 50% of all council buildings. Now, I feel that is totally unnecessary, because the reason...
Paul, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're going off at, quite honestly, half-cock. It is present in many, many situations, but in those situations is harmless. Now, I'm not suggesting in that one situation you've just identified it's harmless, but the statement that it's present in 50%, and I quote from you, I don't have that statement available from the minister concerned, but the 50% of council buildings that's allegedly in, it's harmless.
No, Alan.
Yes.
Well, just a minute, Alan.
Yes, Paul.
Number one.
Answer me a question. How many people in council property have died as a result of Legionnaire's disease? Answer that question.
Well, Alan, I can't...
Answer the question.
Well, just a second, I can't...
Well, let me ask you a question then. Is it more than 100?
Well, I would say no.
Right.
To my
Is it more than 10?
But just a second, Alan.
No, Paul.
It doesn't matter whether
Paul.
it's one.
Allow me to tell you, Paul, that in the atmosphere throughout this country, there are dozens of infections waiting for somewhere to land.
Alan,
we cannot have a sterile atmosphere. It is not possible.
Granted. But look, well, can I just say...
So what we have to do is we have to establish whether these infections, these staphylococci and streptococci, are actually dangerous in their situation. Now, you're implying that these 50% of council properties that have Legionnaire bacterium in them are dangerous, and I'm saying to you that they are not. Now, would you like to retain your mind and try to speak just on the specific that you appear to know a little about?
Right, well, for the start, you're saying, you've made a statement that you feel that the bacteria Legionnaires is not dangerous where it is at present.
I have said that in the vast majority of its hidey holes, it is not dangerous per se.
Well, I would say you're wrong, Alan.
Then why? Well, fine,
dangerous.
Paul.
Well, can I
Why has it not affected anybody?
But Alan,
there are no
buts. Does it take people to die for that?
Paul,
answer me that. Does it take people to die before anybody will do something about it?
The answer to that is yes.
Well, in that case, that's an utter... That's a disgrace to me.
Are you talking to me at this moment from a telephone?
Yep.
You are. Has anybody died from that telephone?
Oh, Alan.
Answer the question, Paul. Answer the question.
But
answer the question.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
I have to when talking to... Paul, you say that we ought to eradicate dangerous germs merely because they are, in certain situations, dangerous. That is a nonsense. It is an impossibility.
Okay, Alan. All right, let's say this, right?
I'm not going to join you in anything. If you have something to say, say it for yourself, not us.
Right. at present, it is posing a slight threat. Could we say that? Slight, ever so slight, if you like. It is posing a slight threat.
I'm sorry, I require rather more specific information than that very loose statement, a slight threat.
Okay.
A motor car is a slight threat, and yet it is harmless. It won't do any harm at all.
All right, Legionnaires, right? Legionnaires bacteria is found in water systems, water tanks, water systems.
That's right.
Now, the reason it is allowed to incubate, as it were, is because it's left undisturbed. Now, I know for a fact, I am at present spending a lot of time in a council building, and at the time of this upset in the college, I asked a few questions. I was concerned, and I was told that where I am situated in a council building, that the water tanks have not been cleaned in over 20 years. 20 years.
Right, Paul. Now, let us talk about that specific. That is disgraceful.
Now.
But we're not talking about Legionnaire's disease now. We're merely talking about basic hygiene. And basic hygiene, as far as I'm concerned, is paramount. However, I don't think we should introduce basic hygiene merely as a process for the eradication of Legionnaire's bacterium. We ought to introduce basic hygiene to alleviate all possible bacterium, all potential bacterium. That is the purpose of hygiene. But to suggest, as you did, that we ought to mount some massive campaign to eradicate Legionnaire's bacterium, allow me to say to you, is ludicrous. But regular hygiene, perfectly sensible.
But you can't have one without the other. I mean, if you've got basic hygiene...
Do be sensible, Paul. You can actually have one without the other. You could actually clean the Legionnaire's bacterium from that water tank and leave it full of cyanide.
Oh, but Alan...
Oh, but nothing. Fine. Utilise all possible resources for basic hygiene. But don't start picking off bacterium one after the other, or you are going to find yourself in very, very expensive and probably undrinkable water.
Yeah. All right, well, all we need is a regular service and clean.
Excellent. I'm all in favour of that.
Yeah.
But the motivation of that is not just the potential danger of Legionnaire's bacterium.
That's one aspect of
But that was the one you chose, Paul.
Well, what do you want me to do, Alan?
What I wanted...
saying about them all.
Well, allow me to say to you, Paul, what you should have done is at the outset of this conversation, it would have been very simple to consolidate it massively and just simply say, do you know, our college water tank hasn't been cleaned for 20 years and you think it's a disgrace, and Paul, I would have agreed with you.
And then you'd have probably said, so do I, and put the phone down.
That's right.
Well, you know...
I see. So what you actually wanted, Paul, was a long conversation about nothing.
Not really, no.
I
want to state my views and...
Well, you've stated them, Paul. They're ridiculous, but you've stated them. How do Andrew?
Hello, Alan. Let's talk about horses, please.
Horses or authors?
Horses.
I see.
Yeah. Well, a couple of months back, right, I was out camping, yeah?
I've no idea whether that is so or not, so
Yeah,
there's
well,
little
it was,
point
right.
in question. Well, I'm not doubting you. I'm wondering why you're asking me.
Yeah, anyway, I was, right?
I don't know whether it's right. Can we get it clear from the start that I've probably never met you, don't know who you are, and certainly do not know what you were doing a couple of months ago. So there's no need to end all your sentences with a question, because I'm not in a position to confirm your statements. So would you just like to make them without the question mark, please?
Okay, anyway, I was out camping, and my friends took a photograph of me, right?
I've no idea whether it's right, Andrew, and I refuse to repeat myself. Goodbye.
Take your scrap to CSM, Preston's top scrap metal men. They pay a better price, so this is our advice. Go to CSM.
Turn your scrap metal into cash. Best prices 6 days a week at Carlton Street Metals off Fylde Road, Preston. Phone 729949.
Go to CSM. CSM.
Hi,
I'm Nigel Holmes. I run the two most progressive menswear shops in the north, selling everything for today's fashion-conscious man.
Buy the man in your life something special this Christmas. Choose from our stock of many well-known couture names, designer knitwear, pure silk suits, DB and SB, wing collar shirts, tweed overcoats, jackets and trousers, all superbly coordinated with casual shirts. We also have the complete range of Charles Jourdain shoes and aftershaves.
Call in soon at Park Street Lytham or Church Street Blackpool. I guarantee you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Fun evening, but if you think you're going to find out, I live at 90 Aybrook Street, and if you think I'm going to tell you my phone number's 7680122, and if you think you're going to drive me home when you've been drinking, shame on you. Luckily, I've been drinking Driver's gin and tonic flavours drinks. They're ultra low in alcohol, so I'll drive, shall I?
Drivers from Britvic let you enjoy drinking and driving home. Drivers from Allied Lions, a great British company.
I'll do John.
Alright, Alan. Can talk about hair caution.
Providing you're very quick.
If it wasn't for hair caution, the hairs would be extinct.
So?
Well, you disagree with hair caution.
That's right.
So if you stop that hair caution, you can say goodbye to the hairs.
Well, I'm quite prepared to have them die out. I don't really care that much.
Yeah, but don't forget this hair course is on private land, Alan.
What's that got to do with it?
Yeah, well...
John, if I came... Excuse me a second. No, you hold on. If I came round your house with a cudgel and caved in your skull, I would be on private land. Are you telling me that would be okay? Are you telling me... Well, okay. Your council house is still private land. People have not the right of access to your home, so are you telling me it would be okay?
Yeah, but...
You are telling me it would be. I'll be round in an hour. I'll do Andy.
Oh, Alan, I'd like to bring up a point that's very prevalent at the moment.
Prevalent or relevant?
Well, both.
I see.
And that's drink driving.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that the laws in this country are far too soft on the drink driver.
The laws are soft?
Yeah. And I also
Would you like to explain yourself? Do you mean the penalties or the law itself?
The law itself.
What is wrong with the law itself?
Well, if you take the amount that people can drink in this country, they're allowed a blood alcohol level of, 50 milligrams?
80.
80, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry, if you take into account other countries in Europe, as an example, Denmark, they have a level there of 30. Surely, evidence shows that even if people only have one drink, they're more susceptible to have an accident. Would it not be a better idea just to stop people drinking and driving altogether? That is, to say, to drink, have a drink and drive is an offence, irrespective of how much they have.
How would you quantify this offence, Andy?
Well, it's drinking and driving.
Yes, but how would you quantify it? We used to have a situation where the law said you should not be drunk, or, let us be more specific, the law said that you could not drive a car whilst under the influence of alcohol. And of course the difficulty was establishing the degree of influence. So the breathalyzer was brought in, and the specific limit of blood alcohol ratio was brought in order to establish a quantity, a permanent fixed line. Now, you're saying the line should be moved, but as soon as you say the line should merely be rubbed out, we then go back to this problem of not knowing what is under the influence. Now, would you like to give me some yardstick by which we could measure whether people were under the influence or not?
Well, the line should be brought to a very, very minimum. That is, if people have had a drink and are driving, that should constitute an offence.
But you see, the problem with that, Andy, is it isn't enough, because what would have to happen is the police would have to actually be able to produce witnesses.